think back to that day. It was the last day in February 2013, just over 2 years ago, when we, the Liberal Democrats, we defied the odds, we confounded all their predictions, we ignored all the cottage industry of pessimism about our fortunes, and we won. And we won because we campaigned every single minute of day and night. We campaigned as if our lives depended on it. We served our communities. We believed in what we were saying. And we out-campaigned and outgunned our opponents, as we will do in place after place after place on May the 7th as well. What we're going to do on May the 7th isn't just, as the placards say, win here. We're going to win up and down the country. Because in effect what we are doing is running a campaign of not just one Eastleigh by-election, but 60 Eastleigh by-elections. North, south, east, west, campaigning with exactly the same vigour that led to that famous victory on February the 28th. Do you know that since the beginning of this year, we've had 1 million conversations with voters in the seats and constituencies where we are campaigning hard across the country? Did you know we have handed out 50 million bits of literature? And you've done probably 25 million of those. Do you know that in the final week of this campaign, 2 million voters will hear our message on Facebook, on YouTube, and on social media? So we are fighting our campaign like we've never fought a campaign before. 60 by-elections up and down the country. And it's quite right we do that, because look at the alternatives. Look at the alternatives for the country. The prospect of a hapless minority Labour administration dancing to the tune, whatever Ed Miliband might have said yesterday on the telly, dancing to the tune of Alex Salmond, borrowing way beyond what our country can afford. Saddling our children, our grandchildren with the dead weight of debts from this generation. We should be wiping the slate clean for our kids and our grandkids, not making life more difficult for them and getting them to pick up the tab for the mistakes of this generation and paying the price for the mistakes of bankers. And look at the prospect on the other side, a hapless David Cameron administration dancing to the tune of UKIP, the DUP, and most chillingly and worryingly of all, his own MPs on the right wing of the Conservative Party. Cutting for ideological reasons way beyond what is necessary. Taking huge amounts of money away from our nurseries, our schools and our colleges. Is that what people want here in Eastleigh? Is that what people want in the country? No. No. They want fairness. They want stability. They want us to strike the right balance between getting the economy right, balancing the books, doing so fairly, because that's the only way that we can fund our public services, our nurseries, our schools, our colleges, the NHS, on which so many people depend, and spread opportunity across the country. And by the way, it's not for me, or for any of us, to express a preference on which of the older parties the Liberal Democrats may or may not talk to after the general election. That is up to the preference of millions of people doing that wonderful old-fashioned thing of putting a cross in a ballot. It's called democracy. Absolutely. So let's wait and see what people say. But all that people know is this, that if you don't want to run the risk of our country lurching to the right, lurching to the left, the only way to guarantee to keep our country on track is to vote Liberal Democrat. We will cut less than the Conservatives. We will borrow less than Labour. We have provided a heart to a government with the Conservatives, just as we would provide a brain to a government with a Labour Party on the economy. So, keep campaigning with every fibre of your being. What you did on February the 28th, 2013, you will do again on May the 7th, and we will do across the country. We will win again. We will campaign like no other party knows how to campaign again. We will serve our local community better than any other party does again. We will speak to more voters than any other party again. That is why these posters say, winning here. When I first joined the Liberal Democrats, the first thing I was taught was how to win elections, how to hold on to seats and how to win again. That is why we will win here. That is why we're winning here. Winning here is in our DNA. Thank you very much.